You know, I'm surprised I haven't tried more like jump scares when the stream starts. It's my face like 3 inches from the camera. I'm surprised I haven't tried that yet. One day it'll just be like the whole screen will just be my face. uh, I am still waking up, but it's all good. Today we're going to be doing more Monogame Development. We are working on Switchball Deluxe, the game in development. We're working through some bugs and eventually do features. Right now it's bugs, mostly. I don't know, like a bug and a feature could just be a bug that ain't working. Or it's something that ain't working. A feature is just a thing that ought to have worked, but now the bug goes in and it makes it all like squirrely. Anyway, that's where we're at today. Our music selection today is called Quirky Classical. Cool. Let's get my tasks up. Show what we're going to do today. So, we're currently working on our priority 1. Last 2 days ago, we were doing Monogame Dev. Yesterday we did part 2 of our Ocarina of Time randomizer. And tomorrow we're going to do part 3. Maybe finish it. We're at 5.5 hours through. I only got 5 dungeon rewards to get, so tomorrow might be do it. Also tomorrow night, likely, very likely I'm going to be doing another archipelago with my friend Saribi. And we're going to try to get the settings right so we don't have to just like stop playing after 2 sessions and it just fall apart where one person's just playing. But today, we're going to do, try to get these done. So we have 2 that are like 1 points, so I bet we could get both of these done today. I'll be going for about an hour and a half today. And if we do get these 2 done, maybe we can move on to these. All the priority 1 ones here are basically bugs that are pretty easy to trigger or are ones that I know of and we can get done quickly. There's only a couple bugs here that I put at a higher priority. One is just for a super admin command in the command prompt. And another one is one I can't even replicate half the time. More than half the time. I have no idea how I clip through the brick at the very beginning of a level. Most levels don't have that. There's only a couple that do. So, and even the ones that do, I could always change the level if it's a obscure bug that I can't figure out. So that's why it's a priority 6. And we added a new feature part of the way through last time too. So let's get done these bugs. So this bug I think appeared, we fixed a couple bugs with the menus last time. And let's take a stab at this one. The pause menu or the controls menu resume before level start started the level. Wait, pause menu resume for level start started the level on keyboard. Wait, didn't we fix that? I don't think I just said I fixed that. That's what we fixed at the end of last time. This was the main thing we fixed. I'll show it. I'll show what it's talking about. We'll start the game. I think I didn't mark down that it was done. Oh, the game's gonna be all, because last stream was Ocarina of Time. The game is gonna be all Wacky. Alright, let me share it in a sec. Gotta get it figured it out. We're showing this one. We got a high Visual Studio too. Yeah, a little big. Oops. What am I moving around? Oh. Okay, let's lock this. There we go. I'm gonna make this smaller. What? There it is. Okay, so basically this bug was if I click I before a level starts. Oh, no, this was at the end of a level. But I guess this would be the same thing. If I click I here, and I press enter to resume, it shouldn't start the level. And it doesn't start the level. Same thing if I go here in the options menu. And then I beat the level. In slow fashion. By my standards. So now, if I go to the pause menu and click resume before that enter press was carrying through in the same game loop to also press next level or whatever was the prompt here. It doesn't. So like here, if I go to main menu and I click this, now we can see, hey, it's all good. Boom. We're there. So that was that one. You guys have this game audio muted. I don't. It's just a cacophony right now. Let me mute this in a sec. I'll just exit the game. Okay, so that's this. That's done. This was the one I think, yeah, that is related to those menus. So if you switch to the controls options menu after the pause menu, then press enter to go back to the end of level menu, then press the pause menu again, nothing happens the first time. So this has to do with when both pause and control menus are open. And let's take a look at the code for those, and I think I know how to fix this. But first, I guess we should show the bug, so have some context of it. So I'll boot up the game again. I didn't need to close it necessarily, but it's okay. Doesn't take much time to boot it up. And for my sake, I'm going to go in and turn off the music. Okay. So, we're going to go in here again. Nothing loaded. But you see, the reason I know nothing loaded here is it incorrectly loaded. There's no time. There's no best rank. It got this. What? I've never seen this before. Oh, the game's paused. He's not even moving. Is the game paused right now? The game is not paused. What happened? Is there like a loop right now? I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone. I've played hundreds of hours of this game and this has never happened. What update could I possibly have done? I went in and changed the audio. There's a menu open right now. Wait a second. There's a menu open. That's why it's paused and it stopped loading. Can I select anything in the menu? Alright, so what we're going to do, I'm almost certain there's a menu open because I went in and I changed the audio. And what I did is I clicked resume. So I think what's happening, and this does have to do with an update that we did yesterday. I can't believe it broke something. So we are here in the menu handler. This is the update we did here. If the menu state is closing, then it's closed. But what it's doing is it's going here. It's not going here. I'll go back out. Go down here. It's not going there. The menu handler menu state is closing. Because that's the update that we did here. And the reason we did this update here, and we said, hey, all I need is 1 frame of time for the menu handler to basically say, hey, we are now closed. But what happened is that that's not working on the title screen. Okay. All right, we're gonna look at that in 1 sec. I just need to do a quick check here. See, quirky classical. I'm trying to hide that. Why didn't that work? There it is. One moment. 1 moment, please. Okay. So we're just gonna start the game up again. And we're going to change the I can't believe. All right. All right, so here I'm going to hide Visual Studio now. We have this. So I open up the options menu via this. Here's the options menu. I click resume right here in the middle, right? What this should do, in my opinion, is the menu handler being open right now? The menu handler is not even updating. Is this directly updating the options menu instead of doing it here? Oh, okay. So normally on the title screen, so the title screen is its own entity, and it must be updating the options menu directly, the controls, rather than going through the menu handler. So I'll show this. So this is the, hey Sixignory, welcome to some development. We're currently working through a bug. We popped in at a fun time. So essentially, this is the menu handler class, and if we go to the game 1, here at the top, all of these things, like if your current level state is, my stream's in the Turkish language category? No, no way. There's no way. There's no way. I need to turn off this sound. That would be funny though if it was. That would be funny if that was like a thing that I needed to set. I have no idea what trigger sounds like. um, so if I go here, and then we're gonna see where this is updating, because I think what the issue is here, the menu handler class is only happening if you're in the level and you're either at the level begin sequence or you're in a cutscene or this. Ask Claude Code. We're not using AI right now, but thank you. I have used Claude though before. However, when we're in the title screen, we're gonna go down to the title screen, which I think is further up here. Yeah. So here's the title screen. And what it's doing is it's doing the main menu update. So let's take a look at that class. So we'll go to the main menu, which is just called title screen. Thinking about cold. It's an old meta. Yep. So we're going to go down and we're going to see right here. This is where it's doing it, huh? So it says, hey, if the controls menu is open, go ahead and update the controls menu. And that's why this is happening here. So what we did in our update on Tuesday is we were assuming that the menu handler is also working when the title screen is, you know, active, just like when the core level is active. But you can see here, this menu handler is only working then, and when the title screen is open, all it's doing is it's calling the controls menu directly. So if we go to the menu handler here, the menu handler is supposed to handle all menus in the game. So here it's just saying, hey, you have your pause menu, you have your options menu, which is really the controls menu. And it's toggling between them depending on what's open. And the next bug that I intended to do was about this toggling back and forth. There was a bug with that. However, here in our title screen, we find that the controls menu is being used directly. So there's two ways to fix the bug. One is we refactor slightly how the title screen works so it also uses the menu handler. Or this music's no. Well, it's 30 seconds. There's only 30 seconds left. Or I have more checks in here. I think I want the menu handler class to be used all the time. That's the point of the menu handler. I think this is bad in calling the controls menu outside of calling the menu handler. So let's do that. Let's fix our bug that way. So we'll just stop it. And this is what we're going to do is we're going to go in here and let's just see how often this is used in this class. Options box in use. It's saying toggle. Okay. Toggle the controls menu directly. And down here at the bottom, it says, hey, if the options box is in use and this is opened, go ahead and draw it. And if it's not opened, we're go ahead and drawing the other stuff. And that just has to do with what we're showing on screen. That's interesting. I think all this is fine. The main issue is not whether the controls menu is open or closed. The main thing is whether this handler is being used to dictate what is active and whether it's what should be updated. So why don't we go back here, and we're going to go up to the top. And here, talk about the sneeze. Whooza! This is what we're going to do. We're both going to toggle the menu. This is actually something we're going to be looking at in a bit. This idea of toggling back and forth is the second bug that we're going to be doing here. Toggling. We can still call this, and you can see it's going to turn whether it's on and off active. Menu handler, though, ought to also have something to say what's the active menu. And this active menu itself is, oh, this is just saying where the console, okay. Working through this. Setting the volume, sure. Menu state. Okay. How do we do this? Okay. Equals. So we're gonna toggle this, which I don't know if we need to do. This is a little bit jank. We do a little bit of jank and then we clean it up. And then what if we do this? Dot menu handler dot update. So what if we update this instead? And what does this requires? Oh. All right, this music channel's been garbage. We're switching. Okay. Let's go back to game one class. Oh, it's requiring the game cons. Why? Why am I passing the game console to the menu handler class? Oh. Uh. You know what? We're not gonna do this. Control Z, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. You know, there's a point where you think of different solutions. Okay. How about we do something else? Why don't we just go here? And I'm doing this right. Where am I saying closing? Menu state is open. Menu state is closed. Right here. I'm saying, hey, the menu state is closing. And the reason I did this was to have the fix the bug on the other screen. What I can do here is just say if, and then we want it to do it if the current game state is the core level. If we're actually in the level, we'll do it this way. This is where the bug is occurring. Done. We only do this line, which essentially goes through the loop one more time, if we're not in the title screen, if we're in the core level. This was the line that we put in. And I believe we need to do it in the pause menu as well, because I think we can get the pause menu there. There, it's fine. Let's try now. Okay. So we go in here. We literally just opened it up. Just for funds, I'll repeat what I did earlier. I need to hide Visual Studio again. So here we are in audio controls. Go back, we'll resume. Now if I go back to the game, start it up. No black screen of death, which means that it was actually loaded. We can test it again. Make sure the previous thing still works. We'll just beat the level really quick. But do it even in a slower way. Boop, boop. Okay. So here we are. Now we're just going to test that this still works. I click resume, it does. I click escape, cool. I just went in the code, it went to a breakpoint. I'll remove the breakpoint. I went over here, and we're good. Good. All right, we fixed the bug that happened because of the bug. Hey, by just putting in an extra line. Extra check. Okay, now the actual bug that I was going to show. I'm just going to check one thing before I do that. second. Just hang out for a little bit, just for a second. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. Anyway. All right. So, the actual bug. I did not need to end the game. It's okay. We're gonna do the first first intended bug to fix today. You click this. We go to the pause menu. Click a different button to immediately go to the options menu. Boom. Now you close the options menu. Boom. Now if you intend to open the pause menu again, nothing happens. And I click it one more time and it opens up. Try that again. So you click pause menu, options menu. Now say if I close the options menu like this and I click the options menu again, it opens. If I click pause menu, it doesn't. And why is that the case? And it has to do with them toggling back and forth to each other. So if we look at the code, I think this will be an easy one. And this is what's happening down here in the toggle menus. And on Tuesday, I noted this clause right here. This idea of switching back and forth between what was the last active menu. So if it's currently active, the last active menu was the active one. And then in the menu handler. So when I say toggle this off, when it goes here, it's always going to go in this else statement because we currently don't have the equip or the email menus even as a possibility. So this is properly closing, but when I go to the pause menu and open it up, what's happening? Well, it was, last time we checked, it was active because we just switched. We switched when we opened the pause menu. So for example, if I go here and I close this, I bet right now when I click escape, and that's just to bring up the options, if I go in the code, and next time we go to the pause menu here, I bet we're going to be not active. Is active will be false. Let's go here and we're going to click resume, and then we're going to click to open up the pause menu. Oh, it's true. Right. Never mind. It's the opposite. It was already considered being active. So the menu itself was active, but the menu handler's active menu was none. And the last active menu was pause, which is kind of odd because we just closed. Oh, because we never Okay. This is what I need to fix. Okay. So what we're going to do is we are going to show this. And we're going to pause the game. Pause the game. Pause the running of the game. So this whole if-else statement is silly. When we're toggling off of the controls menu, the active menu in the menu handler is none, which is true. Same for the pause menu. We want to make sure that the menu handler is no longer showing a menu. The last active menu, though, ought to be its menu. So what we're going to do here is we're going to say the menu handler's last active menu here is equal to the options menu, which is controls. One second, getting a somewhat prescient. Oh, that's interesting. So that's that. And then we can take away this whole if-else statement. Cool. So now we have, hey, if it's the core level, it's closing. That was our our initial bug fix. Now when we close it, we're going to say the active menu is none, and the last active menu is options. Now if this is being toggled off, that should work. And let's go to our pause menu. What happens over here in our pause menu? Here we are, when we're toggling it off, we're saying the menu state is closed. Are we doing that for the controls menu? Yeah. We're doing this thing. It's calling reset. Let's reset. It probably just resets certain variables on it. Okay, it resets some stuff here. That's fine. And we also want to set the last active menu to be pause. That. Now, I don't think this necessarily fixes the active issue. But let's go ahead and save this and start it up again. Make sure it doesn't break anything further. Okay. So we're going to click this. Let me go over here. We're going to push resume. Still get the bug. Oh, that was interesting. When I click I again to go back to pause, it closes it. So here, what I'm doing, you can't see my fingers, but I'm clicking pause menu, options menu. I click pause menu again. And what I think it needs to happen is, this is what ought to happen. When I click options or controls or whatever, it's synonymous. And I go over here to this menu. This is toggling this menu on. If we go in Visual Studio here. And what's happening is we go to the menu handler class. And here, switch active menu. I'm setting the active menu for these guys to be pause when it becomes active. And I'm setting this one to be options. That's happening when these things are being toggled. So what I can do here is theoretically, all I need to do is toggle the other menu, because in the game this is based off of Blister of Light, the code base, you have like 4 or 5 different menus you are swapping between. But here, if I toggle this, and I'm now looking at controls, it should just turn the other one on. Or off. So what if I do this? Right here, we're turning this one active. When this one's becoming active, what if I just go like this? What if I just toggle it? And then do the same thing for the other one. What does that do? Trial and error. Alright, so we're going to turn it off with enter. I'm going to press I. It does nothing. Oh, both of them are toggling each other on and off. No, it's when it closes it. It's when it closes it, it should happen. I don't know if you guys caught that. It's kind of obvious. I mean, we didn't even save all of the things, but it's fine. Here. When it closes it, right here. Yeah. And then take this, put it over there. Okay. 1 hour later. There you go. Let's make sure this just works on its own. It doesn't. Okay. This is the same thing. Well, that was interesting. I'm messing it all up. Alright. This is why trial and error isn't great in coding. Let's think about what we're doing. Whenever you toggle the menu, when does this happen? Let's just fix it. It happens in the menu handler. Okay. So in the menu handler, it's already toggling the menus. And then when we click resume, it toggles itself. So when we exit the menu by pressing enter on resume, it toggles itself off. When we click the buttons, it toggles itself. And then we added an additional one. Let's take these off. It's down here somewhere. There it is. I'm so smart. I'm head to game. I wrote all this. Trust me. I know what I'm doing. You click the button in the menu handler. Right here. This is what it says. If the console's not open, that's the tilde command prompt. And for whatever reason, these are the game controls for opening these three things. The PC menu is the controls menu. Button. The pause menu is this. So you click that open. We click right now on the keyboard, it says I. It used to be called the inventory, whatever. It opens the pause menu. It goes here. What does it do? What it does is it plays the sound effect. It says, hey, it's now open. It says, hey, your last one is the current active one. And your current active one is pause. So it's open. Now when you press I again, it goes to the menu handler. It toggles it off. What happens when you click toggle again? It's no longer active because it flipped. It's going to go down here. It's going to play the sound effect again. It's going to close itself. It's going to send this to be closing. This was the whole loop thing. It's going to say the last active one was pause, and it's no longer active. And that's why it works on its own. So if we go like this, click this, it turns on and off. And same for the other one. Okay? So now, what we want to happen is when we press the button to open up the other menu while the first one is still active, we want to close the other menu. That's what we want to do. The problem about using the toggle method in that way is if we toggle it off, we're turning off. So if we toggled off the menu, say we clicked the controls menu, we wanted to turn off the pause menu. In turning off the pause menu via toggle menu, we are also setting the active menu to none. That's fine if we call toggle menu first, right? So I think what we need to do is something somewhat simple. Is here. I'm going to pause this. All we have to say is if we're toggling the pause menu, we want to first check to see if the controls menu is active. And if so, let's toggle it off. So what we're going to do here is we're going to say, hey, Now, you could put this in the additional if statement here. I'm just segregating it to show the logic, and then we can move it in. So we just want to say, hey, if, and this is something we can do because it's literally only 2 menus. If this menu is active, right? What we want to do is first toggle it off. And then we'll do this. And then we'll do the same over here. We'll say, hey, if this is active, now when it's active, it's going to go through and it's going to run this. It's just going to close everything down. It's just going to close it down. And that's what I want to do. Let's go ahead and check if the other one's active. That would be the case if we're flipping back and forth between them. That might solve it. Let's try it. Okay. So, first we'll just check on its own. All right. Then we'll check the other one. Beautiful. Then we'll try resume. Good. All right. Now we're going to try this. Open this. Then we'll open the other one. Then we'll open this one. We're going back between them. I'm going to click itself to close it. Click itself to open it. I'm going to pause. I'm going to click pause to close it. I'm going to click pause again to open it. Now we're going to click pause. We're going to click this. I'm going to click this to close it. And then we're going to click pause. It's working. We did it! All right. Just think a little bit. Cool. Da-da-da. Done. Beautiful. We got to our 2 points, which means these are slightly harder. That's okay. Let's take a look. Oh, this is interesting. All right, so our first bug is having to do with the end of level menus between the adventure mode and the gauntlet mode, and the ordering on those menus for what is selected. Interesting. The next one is a bug for a potential game crash and high scores, which didn't happen all the time. And this one has to do with more menu shenanigans. More menu shenanigans. We should probably just continue. We're in the menu shenanigans state. Let's just continue with our menu shenanigans as we fix menus. So, what does this bug say? When you have the options menu open, immediately go to the pause menu without closing the options. Then choose main menu. Because the options menu is still open, the text doesn't show on the main menu, and you're actually controlling the options menu without seeing it. We need to close the options menu when going to the main menu. That actually seems really easy. I don't know why I made that 2 points. I literally told myself this solution. But let's replicate it first. So, options menu open. We're going to go to the pause menu without closing it. Which, by the way, I think we've already solved this because the options menu will no longer be open because we just did the update that says when we immediately go to the pause menu, we're now closing the options menu. So I think this is fixed. So we're going to do options, go to pause, choose main menu. Is there a bug? So we're going to go to options. Then we go to pause. Then we go to main menu. And everything's fine. Yeah, we solved 2 bugs with both bugs had to do with those menus not properly closing. Pretty good. Let's try it the opposite way. Was there an opposite way? I'll go here. We'll go back and forth like 20 times. Then we'll go to the main menu. That one doesn't give you an option to say yes or no. We fixed both bugs with the same issue. Or the same fix. Fixed both of them. Let's go. That's a big thumbs up. So smart, guys. Oh, woo! Yes. Clawed my butt. Okay. Let's see if we have this game crash thing. I don't think we do right now. It had to do with some index out of range exception, which resolved itself when I finished the run. So this isn't gauntlet mode. We're in gauntlet mode. If I go back, see, we're here. Now, when I was going to high scores here, let's ignore the fact that the text is overflowing. This is clearly very, very basic menu. Those high scores at the bottom were not rendering. And there was a bug for an exception that was happening. I'll show the line. It's going to be pretty hard to debug it without it actually breaking. So if we go down, this is the gauntlet menu. And there's a method for, is it this? Is latest completed high score? I don't think so. I think it was right here. Listing the high scores. So there was an out of range exception here. Now the reason I have exactly 5, and this might have been the case, is maybe there were not 5. But this one I is less than 5. I mean, that's possible, right? What if there's only 3 high scores? Listing the top 5, already ordered when populated. Does this work when there's only 2? Because what it's doing is it's saying, hey, go ahead and get the high scores at I, which will either be 0 through 4, and go ahead and display them. If there is no high score at 3, because there's only a couple, maybe that's what broke it? Let's take a look at high scores. Maybe I didn't have enough high scores, and it was breaking because of that. Populate high scores, it's probably this. High scores is new list. It's going through them all. So we're adding all of our high scores based off of our currently completed runs, basis of our gauntlet run data. And it's ordering it descending by the number of levels completed, then the time. And is there anything here that says... No, it's just doing top 5. That's probably it. I could just delete our high scores, then see if it breaks immediately. Might be a good idea. Because here I actually have 3 scores. Like this level completed with 0. So why don't we go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead and delete our gauntlet data for just saying what levels we've completed. And then we'll see if this completely breaks. And it probably will. So, although, why did I test that when I first made this? I don't know. You can't ask those questions. You can't. This was before I was streaming. This is a Wild West. There's no accountability. Where are they being stored? Gauntlet run data. Stored locally somewhere. Let's take a look. Gauntlet run data. Get all gauntlet save load gauntlet road run data. It is saved in gauntlet mode run data. Okay. So I don't think I'm going to share my Windows Explorer. Well, I guess I could. Why not? Yeah, why not? There's nothing to hide. Let's see if I can do this really quick. Explorer. There we go. Here's our file explorer. I don't know why it has this weird black thing at the top. I don't know, bro. Just deal with it. I'm gonna make it big. Wee, look. It's my files. If I don't show anything important. So where are we going? We are gonna go here, and we are gonna go and look for. This is all data saved locally. So this is gonna be in our C drive and like our app data, and we're gonna be looking for this. Oh, I'm not even showing Visual Studio. We're looking for that Switchball Deluxe Gauntlet Mode Run data. So we're gonna go to our C drive, program data, I think. No. No. Yes. No. Yes. No. No. App data. Users. There it is. That's me. App data. I think this is local. Is it roaming? Try local first. So you see like Rocket League, other games. I think I put it roaming. It's more safe. There you go, Switchball Deluxe. So here's level data. So the save level data will always be saved locally, and that's why you see all these other games that I have. You can always go in your own computer, see where stuff is being saved if you haven't looked. It's going to be in your app data, wherever your user is. So here, you know, I have Hearthstone, I have Nidhogg, I have Notepad++, Nougat, you know, all these sorts of things are usually saved. Roaming or local, let's move this over a little bit. So this is where I'm saving the Switchball stuff, is in roaming. Now, one of the updates we're going to have to do, which actually is right here, let's hide this for a second, is refactor where files are stored and loaded for level data. We're almost there. So we're already getting a sneak peek at that, because here in our Explorer, you can see we're saving the level data as well as our save data. So all of this stuff is our save data. And this is our gauntlet mode run data. We have 6 runs. The level data itself right here, this is static. And by static, I mean it's going to be static in the final version of the game. Right now, all this stuff is being updated all the time. Like, I'm constantly editing levels as I playtest them. But eventually, these levels are going to be static. You're not going to be able to edit the levels in the release version of the game. So this data ought to be stored in the project itself, not locally on my computer. That's going to be one of the updates, is to have a version of these levels that are loaded within the project itself. However, we'll probably have to go back and forth, because saving data to disk, like when I edit and save levels, it makes more sense now to store that all in the same location on disk. But when we create a release version, we want to have all this stuff within the project. Kind of makes sense. By the way, all this stuff is encrypted. So you see like those level strings that come up. So if I edit this, I won't be able to see it. On stream, I have to open up every single thing. Anyway, it's like a gigantic level string, the codes. And you might have seen that in previous streams. So anyway, right now, one of the features is we're also going to have a way to delete save data. So that's another feature. This is down here somewhere. it's a priority 4. In the options or main menu, have a way to clear all save data. So we need a way to clear all save data. This is for both, for either and adventure mode and gauntlet mode. I don't currently have a vision of like there being multiple save files for this sort of game. It's high scores, man. If you and your siblings are playing the same game, beat their high score. I guess there's no way to keep track that it was you beating it. I don't know. That's currently not in scope. It wouldn't be too hard to do, but it's not in scope. So anyway, this save data, we need a way for it to basically go in here, and there's save data for every single level here. If it does not exist, it will create one of these dynamically on the fly, and they literally just correspond to the levels themselves. So say you went in here and you deleted these, you would just lose it. But when you went back into the level, it would just create it again because it saw it was missing. For the gauntlet mode run data, see run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is where we're just going to delete it. We'll just put this in the trash can. Like that. Oh, I'm not even showing anymore. It's gone. So, gauntlet mode run data, I deleted it. Let's see if we get the bug now that we sort of expected might happen at the bottom when we're attempting to draw stuff. Oh, this is in the wrong area. Here we go. We're going to have all these things where it's trying to get high scores, and at the bottom we're going to attempt to draw things in the high scores list right here that don't exist. So here we are. Go to gauntlet mode. So let's see if we get an immediate game crash. 1, 2, 3, bam. Hey, so smart. Bada bing, look at that. So this is what we got. It says index at, oh, you can't see the little pop-up that I'm dragging around here. It says index was out of range. Must be non-negative. Well, why is that the case? Well, it's because high scores here has a count of 0. This is 0 in high scores. It's looping through, so it's attempting to find in the array of high scores I, and I does not exist because there's no high scores. So I'm saying list the top 5 already ordered when populated. Well, clearly, we need to slightly change that. So what we're going to do is instead of I just being 0 here, we can do this. We can say there, we'll just set it here. And let's say var num scores. So how many high scores are we actually going to show? Well, we're going to say equals to if our high scores dot count is less than 5, then we'll do high scores dot count. Else, just do 5. So if we don't have 5, we'll just do however many we have, otherwise 5. We'll start at I equals 0, and we'll say I is less than the number of scores that we have. So now, if we get 1 high score, we'll just display it. And we will no longer be looking for a location that doesn't exist here. And I don't think there's anywhere else that actually loops through the high scores like that. I think it was just here. So let's try that out. All right, just wait for the game to show. There it is. We're going to go in gauntlet mode. And now I don't think it'll break. Just displays nothing. So why don't we go ahead and do our new run. As you can see, the UI is broken here. Do I have a bug for that? I'm trying to make it such that at least it's passable. It doesn't look broken. I don't. I'm gonna put it at the bottom for now. Bug. Let's just make it a 1. Fix gauntlet mode start new run UI. Fine. So let's start a new run. And we'll just do like a level and then we'll lose. Bada bing. Bop, bop, boop, scoop. All right, cool. So now we're just going to fail this level. And then when we fail, we'll get our new high score. The new high score of 1 level completed. All right. Congratulations. Boo boo. Boo boo. Boo boo. Boo boo. Zoom. Hey, we got another bug. You want to see? What does this bug say? It says sequence contains no elements. Are num levels completed? Oh, other high scores is 0. So what it's trying to do is it's trying to say, what is the latest completed run high score? And what it's trying to do here is, I think I was writing all this after I already had a high score. It's trying to get a max out of our other high scores. And if you try to get a maximum from a list that has nothing, it's going to say, well, the sequence contains no elements. We can't get a max out of that nothing. So that's another bug. So what we're going to do here is we'll just click continue. The game will break. And here we get to fix this as well. We will simply say if other high scores dot count is greater than 1, then that. And then here we'll just say our max levels completed is 0. I don't know if the high score got saved because it broke. So we can look in our file explorer here. Did it get saved? We did. We have one. So let's go see if that loads. So we're going to go in gauntlet mode. And we have our 1 level. Or 1 high score. Great. Why does it say we completed 16 of them? Our total time was 7. Wait. That's wrong. Alright, I think that has to do with the other bug. We did not complete 16 levels. It did not take 7 hours and 23 minutes. This is correct, though. The date time is 1:29 and 12:26. Why does it say this? Does that have to do with, That's bizarre. I think it has to do with it being really confused. Best gauntlet run data. I only have 1. Alright, let's try it again. Now that there's no bug, I think it has to do with the bug. I'm going to delete in File Explorer this guy. We're going to try that again. We're going to complete 1 level. And hopefully it doesn't say that we completed 16 levels. We have no more high scores. Oh, look, our current run. Because of the bug, it still thinks there's a run ongoing. Oh. And that data is saved a little bit somewhere else. Interesting. Let's overwrite it. Okay. So we go here. We'll go to the next level. All right. So our goal is that at this ends, we see 1 level. There's no bugs. And it's all good. So there are multiple things that happened. Because the game broke, it never actually got to the point where it reset the current run back to 0. And it like did a partial, it did some partial updates. No! I still... What does this say? Latest high score. Best high score. Guys, why don't I have any checks for this? All of this stuff is checking high scores. I have no other high scores. High scores is 1. All right, this is what we're going to do. Our other high scores is none. Our best one there's no other high score. So if you only have 1, you can't compare it with anything else. Right? So this is what we're going to do. We're going to say if high scores that count is less than or equal to 1. Or I'll just say it's equal to 1. Or it's greater than 1. Then we'll do all this stuff. Okay. Else, wait, it's doing a new one. Oh. What is the tuple? What does the tuple mean? False, false. Is latest. I think we just do... By default... We're going to do this. Else. Return. This. So, essentially, this is saying, hey, it's the latest one, the most levels completed. Yes. And also, is it the fastest time? So this is basically saying levels completed and time, like the two. If it's the only one, just say it's the best. Otherwise, just do this. So we're gonna delete our thing again. I did not think there'd be all these other bugs. That's part of programming. Especially when you don't have unit tests. I don't know. Go, baby, go! So we're probably gonna have a weird high score again. Oh, we have none because I deleted it. All right, good. We have an opportunity to redeem ourselves and not get a C rank here. Oh, get in there. Oh. All right, B. You'll have to wait for one more second of bonus time. Okay. Now, I think there's a good chance that it doesn't break. It didn't break for a half second. You saw that, right? Dang it. What? How many scores are there? There's two? Oh, there's not. What in the... For each one in Gauntlet Run data, we only have... Why are there two? Why did two get made? It remade the same high score twice. Jeez. Now we have to go into the level itself and see why it's doing this. It's not here. It's I think it's in the hood. It's controlling this, which obviously makes sense. Let's see here. Adventure mode, no. Oh, or gauntlet mode, yes. If level failure, no. Gauntlet. Save level results, yeah. So this is failure. Because we failed. If this save ended gauntlet run data, why did it save twice? Reset all gauntlet data in current levels. So we're getting our gauntlet run data. It's 1. For each level in this, we're doing this. I mean, I've tested all this stuff before. All right, we're going to go here, put a breakpoint in. This might actually not be something that we resolve today. It seems a little bit more complex than I anticipated. We don't already get rid of both of these. These happened back to back. You see that they were like 1 minute apart, but I think that's coincidental. Okay. It might have to do with well, here it says new. So I got to that. Interesting. Okay. Let's try this again. Wee. You might be thinking, how do you get S rank here? How do you get that underneath 11 seconds? Well, you gotta look at the other videos for that. It's recorded. Wee. I won't complete the level, I promise. Wee. No, there's so many. I can go around the loop. Woo. Time's running out. No. Okay. So, we're going to walk through this method. We are going to F10 through here. F11 to go inside it. Our gauntlet run data count is greater than 0. That's weird. Why is our gauntlet run data? We deleted it. We should have 0. Unless I created 1. What is our gauntlet run data right now? Our ID is 1. So this was created when we started. So our ended run ID is the max of this. Wait. Our ended run data ID is 2. Do we already have? Oh, we've already saved 1. That's what's happening. All right, I know what's happening. I'm going to stop it. So this has to do with the existing bug. I think. So we're going to delete this, right? We're going to start up the game. I think the game will by default create one, which is why we're seeing like a continue option when I would expect there to be no continue option. All right, so we're at the title screen. Now we're going to pull up Windows Explorer. Did we get an option in here? No. Okay. If I go in the menu, I see a run to continue. Because data for continuing a run and your data for each of those things is less, like what we're resetting right now is we're resetting the high scores. And like the overall data, we're not resetting individual data within the gauntlet run. So that's what's happening. That data is saved concurrently, is saved in a different location. Like if we click continue run here, it still has our run. Trying to think. Yeah, we gotta take a look a little bit deeper at where this is being saved again. because I think it's being saved each level. Forget the level class, just to get a sense. I don't think we're going to do this right now. But level user data has information like this. For every single level, it's going to say, hey, what is your best adventure level time, your best gauntlet level time? Is gauntlet unlocked? Is adventure unlocked? So it's using the same level, there's 160 of them, to store both gauntlet data and adventure data, because you can only have one gauntlet run going at any one time. So I think what's happening is we're deleting high scores, but we're not resetting, when we're deleting those high scores from the Windows Explorer, we're not resetting the gauntlet data stored within each individual level. And when we restart a gauntlet run, that's what it's doing, is it's resetting all that information. So what's weird about that is it's finding existing data when it does it. All right, we're gonna try one more thing. Because right now it's not reset. If we click reset, we have nothing here, right? Yeah. So I'm going to start up again. This will be the last thing because I got to end the stream today. We got to the end. We're nearly at the end. We're going to go in here. We're going to say new run. Basically, in starting this new run, it's going to delete the other stuff. And here, as you can see, it created a high score for the run that just ended. So we ended it, but technically if you end a run at any point in time, it's going to create a high score. That's what happened. Because say you decided to just end a run after 5 levels. You said, I want to do a new one. That could still be a high score. It's just not going to show you like all the theatrics of it. So now, if I click this, now we're at the point where I think the game would be normally in terms of not having extra data that I don't expect to be there. So now we can go ahead and try to do this and still see if we get weirdness. Now there might be some still some weirdness with like doing what I just did. So now if this fails, and again, we're doing all this simply because we have some methods that are essentially trying to pull data when it ought not to be pulled, but also we have some interesting cases about when data is being saved and how the data is being saved. So, boo boo, boo boo. Okay. We're going to let us do this thing. There's a breakpoint here. I'm going to click continue. We're going to go here. And it still says run 2 because it's identified when it started it anew, there was data. Oh my gosh, it's so annoying. Because the run data that was in there wasn't cleaned out completely. So that's why I did run 2, because it saw level data in here, back where we did when it saved it, which we looked at briefly. Here, it was looking at our gauntlet run data. Some of that gauntlet run data already existed, so despite us going in and deleting the high score, it already saw that there was something in there. So it created a second ID. In so doing, when it got to here, the number of high scores that it saw, that and those high scores are coming and calculating dynamically from that gauntlet run data is 2. And that's why it goes here. But then it's like, hey, wait a second. There are no other high scores in there because we deleted that from the Windows Explorer, from where the high scores are being stored. So it's still got a null reference exception. So for next time, because I got to stop for today, we have 2 options. One, you could theoretically make the high scores count be greater than 2. That's kind of silly here because technically, if you have 2 high scores, you can check it against the other high score to see whether the current one is actually the latest. Like, the whole point of this method is to say, hey, your latest run is at the high score. So if you can compare 2 things, you should be able to do it. What we probably need to do in order to completely clean it out is not only delete this, but we also need to go through, and it might just be a one-time script or something like that that we can create in the code. Maybe we just delete the first few levels of it because, again, they regenerate. But get to a point where there literally is no gauntlet run data for the first few levels and that it won't get confused. I'm trying to think of ways that it could theoretically break. There's probably ways that I'm not thinking of that it could break just by constantly restarting levels or something. But the main problem we're seeing here is simply a very simple break because it's not finding anything to compare to. But also, we saw that weird bug happen because we just deleted high scores. We didn't clear out the data, and it thought that 16 levels were completed, but it really wasn't. And I think that's because it was pulling up the wrong data because of all this weird manual stuff we're doing. Anyway, welcome to coding and debugging. We're gonna call it there for today. Thanks for all who tuned in today, and who'll be checking this out later on YouTube and Twitch. It ain't always straightforward. One bug usually spawns others. That's part of the deal. Tomorrow we'll be back into a bunch of Ocarina time, some in the morning for a randomizer, and in the evening for an archipelago. So a bunch of OT tomorrow. And then we'll be doing either more OT or back into this on Monday. As always, love you guys. Jesus loves you too. Catch you next time.